It's taking everything I have to make this video today. It's because my mindset's just in a place that is not ready to create content to really like teach or to give you a tutorial or give you tips on things and stuff. And my mindset is in a place of reflection, I don't know, thoughts and big goals and dreams. Like my mind is kind of exploding right now. And there's a lot of things that are just sort of coming up from you know, seeds I've planted a long time ago. And a lot of them are sprouting at the same time right now. And so a lot is coming at me. So this is where I'm at. And so that's why, even though I have a plethora of a million great ideas on things I can teach you and guide you and show you and whatever on lighting and Instagram and editing and, you know, just branding photos and prop selections. And I'm like, I've got a lot that I can teach and that I can give you. But I'm just not, my mindset is just not there. And if you are a creator, you understand this. Your mindset plays a huge role in the content that you create and the quality of that content if it's forced out of that. There are ways to change and shift your mindset so that you can get into the right place in order to do that kind of creation. But if you're not there and it's not that you don't, I mean, you don't want to change your mindset because your mindset is in a good place right now for where you're at and for what you've got going on in your life and your business. So that was a rant that was not really planned for this video, but a lot of this video really wasn't planned. What I'm going to do for 3 for Thursday, which by the way, hey peeps, I'm Gladys Ann from Heart Take the Wheel, and you're watching another episode of 3 for Thursday. But we're doing something a little different today. I'm still giving you 3 things on Thursday, but it's not like really super tutorial-y or how-to-y or tip-y or what, I don't know. It's not super teachy, I guess is the right way to put it. It's more of just 3 things that are kind of recurring themes that are big themes happening right now in my life and business that I just feel like is worth sharing and maybe could inspire you or help you think about your business in maybe a different light or something, or maybe think about situations that happen in your business in a different way. So these, I don't really know what the title of this video is going to be as far as like the 3 things I'm giving you. The first thing I wanted to share with you is that I really believe in talking about your big, scary, hairy goals, right? A lot of us, especially us creatives, have a lot of big goals and big dreams of what we want if, you know, you could have it all, what that would look like in your business, right? It's always that thing that feels like it's not possible. Of course, we know everyone's telling us that everything is possible, but there's just still that nagging part of you that's like, oh, come on, like, how is that? How am I gonna get there? You know? And that goal, the one that you stay up at night fantasizing about exactly how every detail looks, right? That's the goal I'm talking about. I believe that it's so valuable to talk about that more. So don't keep that to yourself. A lot of us think that if we share that idea out into the world, that someone's gonna steal it. And here's the thing, if it's some kind of patented project, or I don't know what, that might be the case. So I don't know about that, but I'm talking about those big goals that you and only you can really pull off, that are like, yes, someone else can do it, but they're gonna do it in their way, and it's not gonna be the way you're dreaming about, right? So, because you bring something just different to the table. You bring you to the table. You are unique and you have a unique way of looking at things. And so that is something that I think is worth sharing with others. And here's why. Because the more and more and more that you share your big, hairy, scary goal with the world, one, it's going to help you really think about the realistic way of how that could even happen. How you can maybe, because the more you start reiterating and retelling people, you start thinking of like maybe a specific location in your city where it can happen, or you start thinking of people, like real people that you know, and it starts coming together. It's like, wait, these are the puzzle pieces, these are the steps, that I could take to get there, and it starts kind of manifesting of not just being a wishful thinking thing, but being more of like something you can actually do maybe. So that's one, big reason. The other reason is the more and more people that you tell, you will come across across people who have some like insight to give you that can actually help make this freaking happen. And I think a lot of the times we still don't share that big scary goal for not like we're scared of someone stealing it, but we're scared of like doing it with others. Like, I don't know, we don't consider that being an option. I feel like a lot of us feel we have to do whatever we're doing alone. And we never even imagined in our fantasized world of, you know, our big scary dream goal or whatever, we never thought of how we could do that with other people. We only thought, how can I make this happen like all on my own, right? And while that may be an option for you, I highly suggest telling others, because you might either get a bunch of people who are telling you different aspects, different insight, different perspective on how you can actually achieve that goal, or B, you'll start getting people who are on board and like, wait, let's do this. I'm excited about this just as much as you are. I have a similar dream, and you can do that with them. So I just feel like if, you know, towards, you know, making progress towards your big scary dream and goal, start telling people, tell people about it. That's a big thing. It's a big step. It's helpful. Even if you're telling people about it for years and years and years, those are seeds that you're planting, and seeds grow, especially if you keep nurturing them. So that's one big kind of advice I have for you, a big, you know, thing. And I hope that you understand kind of where I'm coming from with that. Let's switch gears to the second thing that's kind of been a recurring theme for the last month or so. Drama in business. Now, I know that some of you, maybe you're lucky enough to not have experienced any drama in your business. I don't know if that's a thing, but I feel like most of us have experienced some form of drama or recurring drama in business. Now, there's so many ways to go about it, but here is like a huge tip that I am finding helpful in my own case, or cases I should say, is to take time whenever drama really occurs. I feel like the best thing to do is to step away and take time to process that, and process it in however works for you. Personally, I like to reflect. I like to play devil's advocate. I like to journal. I like to tell people, both who are in the business world and who are not even on social media. Like, both perspectives feel good. And sometimes I don't even care what the other person has to say, but I need to vent it out. And by venting it out, I hear it back, and then I feel like it helps me process. So take time to step back from whatever the drama is, depending on, you know, how severe the drama can be, you know, in your world, and then process it first. And then what I recommend from there is figuring out how to separate the personal and the business, because a lot of the times drama comes from those two things colliding, and most often they don't need to, or they shouldn't, I should say. In a lot of business dealings, we're making a lot of heated, decision making based off of our personal feelings. And while, you know, you want to take care of numero uno, I feel like you should also wait. Am I just being a little too reactive here? Can I consider how this, you know, let's think about the business side of this. And not every situation is that going to be, obviously advice is not something that can be applied across the board, black and white like that, but in a lot of the situations I've come up against, it's been very helpful to first take a step back, process it, and then consider, you know, am I bringing personal to the table here, and how can I maybe separate those and follow the business track of how this works, and then consider making your decision based off of business. Because when it comes down to it, I mean, even if you're just a one-person show and you're going to your networking events, or you're going to whatever you're doing and you're running your business from your house or from your couch or from coffee shops or whatever, and you don't, sometimes it's hard to kind of envision yourself as being a business, but you are a business. You are in business, right? You are doing this with the sole purpose to be in business, and if that's the case, then you need to really think like a company, think like a CEO, think like someone who is doing business dealings when they're talking to other people about business things, you know? Try to keep personal out of it whenever it comes to those kind of things. And that's hard to do. And I understand it's like it's not a blanketed advice or anything like that, but it, you know, consider it at least whenever drama occurs or big decisions are being made in your business. Consider, if you're making your decision, or you're reacting to personal feelings versus what's smart in business, you know? What's good business, and see if you can follow that. I hope that made sense. And the last piece of advice I have to give you is to not do this alone. And I know we hear that all the time, but I still find that I meet people who are doing it alone. And they are like, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know this. Or they are like, oh, I'm so grateful that you had time to meet with me. I just feel so overwhelmed doing this by myself. And I can't believe how often I'm still meeting people who are doing this alone. There's no reason to be doing it alone. I don't care who you are. I feel like there's still a way to not do this alone. Whether you find some people on Instagram that become your best friends, or you find a Facebook group, or join a Facebook group or whatever, and you start connecting with people in there, and then those connections turn into private messages that turn into group messages that turn into, a group that you still meet with to this day, 4 years later or something. Or maybe you find networking events in your local area, you find just people that way that you can connect to and understand that you don't have to do this alone. There's no reason to do it alone, and there's so much out there with social media. And yes, it's a promotional media place, but it's also a social one. And if you're treating it like that, you're going to find other people who treat it like that too, and then you can connect with them and build strong relationships, and who you can feel that you trust and that you can turn to as somebody that is a friend in business who gets it. And that's so powerful, especially when considering everything else you have going on in your business. It's powerful to have someone in your corner that you can turn to that understands that world. And a lot of the times we don't have someone in our family and friends that we want to turn to for those things. It's not that we can't, it's that it's just not the right, I don't know, I still vent to my personal people all the time. That's not the thing. The thing is finding someone who's in that world, who can be an outside perspective, but understand the business side of where you're coming from, who understands exactly kind of what you're going through. Finding people like that is so good. It's so good to be able to just call somebody up or message someone on Instagram or Facebook, or, get into a Slack group with some really close friends and stuff, because they genuinely care about you and your business and are willing to just give you undivided attention and advice and be there for you, as a true supporter. And that's super powerful. And that's what I've got for you today. It was a little bit different, so I'd love for you to tell me how you felt about this. And I'll see you in the next 3 for Thursday.